it's Andrew Gower.
Yesterday, Andrew Gower jumped on an official Fen Research stream and finally spelled out how Brighter Shores trading works. Player-to-player trading, shared account banks, guild versus lone wolf, and item restrictions. It's all coming, allegedly, in June. So let's smash out the details. Trading itself is unlocked in Chronopolis through the episode 4 main story quest. From there, you can decide to become a guild member and unlock trading, or become a lone wolf, the game's version of Iron Man or Self-Found. Both of these directions will be a permanent decision for your character. The leaderboard idea for this system was described to have a combined leaderboard that shows all players with either a lone wolf or guild member icon for each position, with additional settings to filter it down to either or. Guild members can trade anywhere, even in episode 1 and 2 after your sub lapses. So yes, pay once, finish the story, and then keep trading forever. This is big news, since up until now we always assumed that you needed the pass to trade. The argument here, of course, is to prevent a load of free-to-play accounts from affecting the economy. When trading in the player market rooms in Chronopolis, you'll also be able to trade bank to bank, with selections on which bank to access, which items, and the quantity of said items. The creation of a shared bank was discussed, allowing you to trade at minimum gold from your alts that you've definitely been passiving on, right? Andrew wants to get it out at the same time as the trading update to prevent trust trade scams as well. On the topic of a shared bank, the idea was brought up to make transmog items from events unlock on all your characters, met with a resounding yes please, which was received positively. Now, while most items can be traded, there are proposed restrictions on trading. These are subject to change as they aren't fully implemented, but this is what was discussed on stream. Epic items won't be tradable. Instead, they suggested people sell their rares as a set to be combined. This creates an item sink, but also a requirement to finish Lost and Found for players to combine to epics. Quest items, such as from Lost and Found, will be restricted from trading, so you can't cheat the quest early. These items will not be tradable unless you finish the quest, then they will open up. Notably, this can affect actual reagents as well, such as slime for the 10% mining pot or coarse flint. Finally, they want to keep rare drops, such as uniques from bosses, to be untradeable. This can of worms will open up in a little bit. Lone wolves just won't have access to player trading at all. In effect, the game remains exactly the same as it is now. Vendors will still be accessible for lone wolves, for example. Lastly, vendors will be remaining in the game as is, so everything will remain buyable. Andrew is content with the fact that when you buy items from a vendor for alchemists, for example, you lose money to make the potion in most cases. The prices are set to incentivize trading with others, who will be able to sell a reagent for a higher price than they normally could selling to a vendor, with the buyer gaining an edge as well as making both parties happy. The current rate is about 3 times the item's value, but Andrew did say he could increase it further to something like 5 times. Now, before you go hoarding a bunch of 5% mine potions, this was proposed to happen only once there was a stable player base and economy, so things should remain as is for quite a while. And that's everything that was covered on the development side of things. Trading is currently being worked on and is due for June, but he is begging for everyone to not hold him to that. June does feel like a fairly conservative date though, as he spent like half the stream saying, no seriously, I really suck at timelines. Reactions to the stream were pretty positive across the board, as everyone's just excited to finally get trading, with one major exception: restrictions on boss rares. Discord, Reddit, and even my own stream lit up with comments about this being a miss. Boss content and uniques are a long way out, but it's important to get this correct now before people lock up their accounts they've already spent up to 7 months on grinding. The argument was given that tradable rare drops spoils the content. There's 2 possible intentions here. The first being similar to quest items in that they don't want players to ruin the sense of accomplishment by simply buying the item. The second is to not ruin the sense of achievement of getting a rare item for someone else simply because other people can buy it. Now, this is common for games like World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV, where accomplishment items are bind on pickup, or earned directly through achievements. But the additional context of this game having a literal mode where you can restrict trading is where the problem lies. If I, as a player, choose to join the trading guild, then let me trade my items. Don't arbitrarily dictate what I can and can't trade. If I wanted either the accomplishment or to show off the fact that I earned something instead of buying it, I'd pick the game mode designed for literally that exact purpose. For me, this extends to quest items too. Put yourselves in the shoes of a new player. What items can I trade? Well, you can trade every item, except not those items. You need those for quests. Except you can trade them after you finish the quest. Well, which is it? In my opinion, you either allow the items for trade and accept the fact that people will, air quote, cheat to get the rewards, or make the required items quest items, dropped from the same enemies and gathered from the same methods. One other restriction I'd like to see improved is epic items being tradable, but bind on equip instead. Getting an epic while doing combat that you don't need, but having only the option to vendor it feels kinda bad, as well as making it simpler to sell an epic instead of 3 rares. All while maintaining the item sync and destruction to keep the economy healthy. This system could also be brought over to the rare boss drops. Other than that piece of feedback, I was pretty impressed with the stream. The full Twitch VOD is in the description, or my own VOD demonetized with no ads. The first hour showcased the Fisherman quest and went into detail about the design and how Paul does things. And then in the second hour, Andrew appears and discusses everything I mentioned in this video. Let me know in the comments what you think, whether you're going to opt into the guild or stay lone wolf, or thoughts on the rare drops issue. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.